They say she was stolen, that the earth split open and a guard dragged her into the dark, that she was a victim. But what if that's the lie? What if the queen of the dead chose her crown? Today, we challenge the myth you were raised on. We're going beyond the disnified version, peeling back the layers of art. Archaeology and ancient hymn to reveal a different Persephone. Was she truly a stolen child? Or does her story map something deeper, a journey from innocence to sovereignty? From Kori, the nameless maiden, to Wanasa, the ancient queen of two worlds. Let's begin, not with abduction, but with a deal. In Greek myth, nothing happens by chance. The abduction of Persephone wasn't a random act of violence. It was a transaction, a political marriage arranged by Zeus himself, her father and the ultimate authority in the Olympian household. Think of it as a royal engagement, but with a lot more earth-shattering consequences. The hymn to Demeter makes this explicit. He gave her to Hades, quietly, without telling her mother. This wasn't a spontaneous kidnapping. It was a calculated move, a strategic alliance between the king of the gods and the ruler of the underworld. Why? To solidify power, to balance the realms, and likely to appease the chthonic forces, the powers of the earth and the dead. But the real bait wasn't Hades. It was the flower. Gaia, the earth, grew the narcissus as a toy to lure her, a trap in bloom, a 100-headed blossom, fragrant enough to make the sea laugh. This wasn't just a pretty flower. It was a carefully crafted lure, a gift from the earth itself, designed to ensnare the unsuspecting maiden. When Persephone touched it, the earth opened its jaws, and the world changed forever. We need to unlearn what pop culture taught us. Hades isn't the devil. He was never red, never aflame, never evil. The modern association with darkness and evil is a later Christian overlay, a deliberate attempt to demonize the chthonic powers. In ancient Greece, Hades was Platon, the wealthy one, lord of gold, silver, seed, and soil. He wasn't a torturer, he was the guardian of the earth's riches. He was Polydegmon, host of many, not a tormentor, a ruler of return. A king who welcomed every soul. He's the one who ensures the cycle of life and death continues. In myth and in art, he is a dark mirror of Zeus, regal, just unyielding. And when he offers Persephone his world, he does so with a promise, not chains, but power. He offers her not imprisonment, but a kingdom. Persephone enters myth as Kor, the maiden, a young, innocent girl plucked from the sunlight. But she doesn't stay that way. She eats the fruit, a pomegranate broken open like a heart. The juice stains her lips, and that changes everything. The number of seeds she ate determined how many months she would spend in the underworld. In the Odyssey, mortals fear her, not Hades. She's no longer the innocent girl. She's a figure of power, a queen of the underworld. She's a force to be reckoned with. She's a bridge between the living and the dead. The abduction throws the world into chaos. Demeter, Persephone's mother, is consumed by grief. She wanders the earth, neglecting her duties as the goddess of agriculture. The crops fail, famine spreads, and humanity suffers. This period of drought and famine directly corresponds to winter, a symbolic representation of Demeter's grief. It's only through negotiation, mediated by Hermes, that a compromise is reached. Persephone will spend part of the year in the underworld and part of the year with her mother. This cycle directly mirrors the changing seasons, a beautiful and poignant illustration of the interconnectedness of life, death, and renewal. But the story doesn't end with Kori and Persephone. There's an even older layer to this myth, a glimpse into a time before the Olympian pantheon fully established itself. Archaeological evidence suggests that a goddess named Wanasa was worshipped in Mycenaean Greece, long before the Olympian myths were fully formed. Wanasa was associated with the underworld, with the earth, and with the cyclical nature of life and death. Could Persephone be a later adaptation of the older Wanasa myth? It's a compelling possibility, suggesting that the story of Persephone is a complex tapestry woven from older, more primal beliefs. What if we reframe the abduction not as a tragedy, but as a rite of passage? What if Persephone didn't need to be rescued? What if she actively chose to embrace her destiny as queen of the underworld? The myth of Persephone isn't just a story about loss and grief. It's a story about transformation, about power, and about the acceptance of one's destiny. It's a reminder that even in the darkest depths, there is beauty, there is power, and there is the potential for renewal. So, the next time you hear the story of Persephone, remember that she wasn't just a victim. She was a queen who chose her crown.